This video is going to be about what I've learned since I've purchased my Slingshot. It's been quite a bit. Again, this is the Slingshot that I purchased from Slingshot. Purchased this. The heads are removable, and this is the sling bow. Going to talk about that today too. First things first, there was a video out there about a guy that was kind of upset about the Slingshot community. He likes to shoot one of the original wrist rockets, which I had one of those. If you like shooting them, that's fine. Shoot them, that's great. But they're a piece of crap. I mean, they always were, and they have nothing to do with the modern wrist rocket type Slingshot. They look similar, but they're a lot different. But the guy who did this video said so-called experts demanded that you do things their way and only their way. I have looked at a lot of Slingshot videos, and I have never encountered that at all. There's a couple of guys that I listen to, and if you go out there and start looking at Slingshot videos, you're going to find them pretty quick. I get a lot of information from Slingshot. I believe the guy's name is Nathan. He does a lot of their videos. Really good. He did one video about band matching with ammo and gave his recommendations, and then he said, do whatever you want. Light ammo with heavy bands, if that's what you want to do it. There's no rules that you have to follow. So if you come across that video, the community that I've seen out there is not like that. They're real helpful. A lot of good information out there. Now, when I picked up the Slingshot and started shooting it, the first thing I noticed, this is the most important thing about probably this Slingshot or any Slingshot, it's fun to shoot. I really enjoy it. And you don't need much space to shoot it, unlike archery. It's a lot like archery. I've been shooting for years, and there's a lot that translates. There's some that doesn't. But my son recently shot this, and he's getting interested in it. They're fun to shoot, not just this design. I mean, there's a host of different types of Slingshots out there. Most of them are not using the hammer grip. They're more of the conventional kind you see, cartoons or TV. And some of them are made from tree branches. And they work just fine with the modern bands and the modern tubes. That's the important thing, is they are really, really fun to shoot. And I picked mine up with the idea of small game and arrows. But there's a lot of people that shoot BBs. There's a lot of people that shoot light ammo. And it's the same techniques, but they're just plinking with them or shooting targets or going to competition, and that's fun too. So it doesn't have to be for prepping. It doesn't have to be for anything other than just enjoy shooting them. And they are a lot of fun. Now, when I bought this and got it in, I had a band failure. One of my bands busted about right here. And this band I have retied to the pouch several times because one of the pouch ties failed rather early, less than 30 shots, and the other one about 70. And I'm not too worried about that, but it did force me to learn how to tie these. And I'm going to get into that, and I'm going to get into the jig I use, which is simple, easy to make. And I would recommend that you learn how to tie these onto the pouch if you're going to shoot Slingshots, because it's just going to happen. I called Slingshot because, as you know from the other videos, we didn't start off on exactly the right foot. I told them about the band failure and that the other pouch came out, but I wasn't worried about the pouch. I was worried about the band failure, and they actually sent me 2 bands. Got back to me real quick. Sent these out real quick. Great response. In my other video I talked about I like phone numbers, but you know, that's the way they do business. But it was, like I said, I would rate their customer service as good. It's like I said, I got this quick. The response was good when I sent them the text message. They got back to me fairly quick. They actually got back to me quickly. It's just that I did it on a weekend and they weren't there. But Monday I got the message. They said it sounded like a band failure and manufacturing issue, and that they sent me 2 of these. Real happy with that. Another thing I learned, with the band set that comes with this Slingshot, I went out and I bought these 50 caliber glass half-inch glass beads and got a hand slap because they're light. They're too light for that band, and that was a problem. So I bought some 3/8 inch steel, which are heavier. The extra band sets I bought, which is one of these, is actually made for this size steel. Got rid of the hand slap. Really good ammo. It is important to match your bands and your ammo weight. It will keep you from doing hand slapping. I went over the top like they recommended. I'm glad I did. I like shooting it this way. I am going to try eventually to do through the forks. And when I first got this, I thought, I'm going to shoot through the forks, not over the top. People say you get better accuracy. I get pretty good accuracy with this. Pretty quick, too. I mean, it didn't take me long. These are not like the old type slingshots. They're a dream to shoot. But I'm going to try through the forks eventually after I get proficient this way. And I may stay that way, I may not. But I would recommend any slingshot you get, go over the top first. There's reasons for it. Videos will tell you that. It cuts down the chances of striking a fork. So I would take their recommendations on that. When I started tying the pouches, I was using, I buried it, Dacron. Works pretty good, but they were also coming undone, so I wasn't satisfied with that. They were actually lasting longer than what they came with. But these new pouches, they may last forever. It just happened to be the ones I got, I believe. And then someone talked about using waxed leather thread. That didn't work for me. I was using a wax thread that my wife had for doing her embroidery, and that's what I got on here, and it seems to be working pretty good. Another recommendation was the artificial sinew, which I haven't tried yet, but I'm going to. And then I've got 50-pound fishing line. I'm just going to have to try different lines until I find one I like. I'm using what they call a constrictor knot. There's another way to tie them with a loop over pull through. There's videos on that. I may have to go to that. I don't know. But it's a big learning curve. But it's a fun learning curve. It's kind of interesting what I'm learning, and it's actually fun. You know, you would think your band comes off and your first instinct, crap, what a piece of crap. Oh my God, world's coming to an end. Sky's falling. Then you look at it and say, well, maybe I can tie it, and start tying it, and it's like, well, I'm kind of glad that band failed. It's forced me to get into this, and now I'm actually enjoy finding out what I can do to get this fixed, because if I'm going to be using this out hunting or being outdoors and I get a failure, I want to be able to fix it. And this is letting me learn how to do that. I keep shooting these. I'm going to eventually buy just the bands and then tie my own pouches, and then I got a feeling eventually I'll just buy bulk, although it's latex, everyone calls it rubber, and cut my own. And so it's good to learn how to do that. The ammo was a big surprise to me. Like I said, I'm learning how to tie. Another thing, I did get to shoot this. I've got some video. My son's got some video of me shooting this in the round ball slow motion. He hasn't given it to me yet, so that would be part of my new intro. This is a little bit strange to shoot because A, I'm not used to using a release, and this really, you got to be so strong to pull this back with that little leather tab. So I went out and picked me up one of these, $8. Probably going to buy one of the more expensive releases, but this to get me started. This told me what I need to buy and the type I need to buy, and this just fits on here. And yes, it is a little bit cumbersome to do. And then I've actually got this backward, and I had to learn that the hard way. Let me put this on. And then I pull it back this way close to the face, anchor, and it's released. Not that bad to use, just takes a little bit getting used to if you're not used to it. The arrows. They recommend a full length arrow. I got 130 and 129. I bought 3 arrows the same weight, one that's slightly heavy. I don't recommend doing that. They should all be the same weight. I did that because I wanted to try the lighter arrows, and I've been shooting long enough to know that, and I marked them and where they're marked. I'm going to use the same aim point, and if one of the arrows, the heavier one, drops, I can use that and estimate what my distance drop will be. So that doesn't bother me. And although this is not on the handle, and that's how they fit. Now, you kind of got to hold this in here. It's not like a bow. It's easy to keep on. These have to be sanded to the inside because you want a release that pops off, or it will do this and stick through the whisker biscuit. So I'm still working on getting those done. I shoot relatively close distance right now until I can get further out. I've got some of these, work pretty good. Targets I prefer shooting with. You'll see a lot of people shoot at little spinners and stuff. I'm a rifle shooter, an archer, so I like. And these are like splat targets. You can see where you hit because it's a little white ring that kind of is around where you hit. And that's what I have on my trap right now. But so far, I've really, really enjoyed this thing. My son was over here. Had a few beers. We were in here talking. He decided he wanted to shoot, so I set a target. We were shooting and having a blast. He really likes it, and excuse me, he's probably going to end up with probably the same model, but he might not. He might do his own research, but I got a feeling he's going to get one of these. Which this is a nice Slingshot. It's got the heads, like I said, changed, but they make a bunch of other styles that are just as good, or depending on how you shoot, even better. That's the big thing. Everybody, not everybody shoots the same. So this is a hammer grip, which I'm used to shooting. The other ones are different style grips, but they're all, buy a quality Slingshot and they're all good, or make one that's quality and it's good. They're not hard to make. But so far I've learned quite a bit, and I know there's a bunch more for me to learn, but I've been real happy with the Slingshot. The customer service has been good with the company. A ton of information out there, both through the company, Simple Shot, and other videos. But my next big thing is to start shooting at distance. Do some shooting videos with this, and just improving my aim, and then doing more of the sling bow and getting the rig to be able to fish with this, with a fishing arrow. But all in all, right now, I'm really enjoying this. Oh, and I had shot a Slingshot since I was a teenager, and I never was really good with the old wrist rockets. The old original wrist rockets, why I keep calling them a piece of crap. This handle was just a piece of oblong plastic that was pinched at the top and the bottom to hold the wires in, and the forks would always twist on them. The next generation that came out, they fixed that problem, but the original ones were dismal, and I could never shoot it very good. And even with one of the newer ones, I was having problems with until I got this, and I was shocked how fast I was getting on target with this and closing my group. I never had a big group to begin with, but that's got to do with me doing a lot of aiming sports. But it shrinking down happened rather rapidly. I was really surprised about this, and that's got a lot to do with just the quality of these slingshots. But anyway, if you're interested in it, do your research, look at what type of shooting you want to do. And I'm going to say, if you're looking into getting into a shooting type sport and you're limited on room, even money, and the distances you can shoot, I would recommend this over even archery, because there's people that shoot these indoors. And when I mean indoors, I mean in their houses. You do not need a ton of space. You need to practice so you're not taking out windows and lamps and everything else, pets, whatever. But you can have a short range, even inside your house, and have a ton of fun with these. If you got friends that shoot these, you can do your own competitions indoors. For even kids learning with these, you can get real light bands, shoot, plastic ammo or whatever. These are great. I really enjoy this. I really like shooting this. It's just fun. So I would recommend, if you're even remotely interested in it, you don't have to go the route I did with, $99 or $100. You can pick up this same system with what they call you kind of shoot it like this, grip, with your fingers up close to the forks, for a lot cheaper than this, from the same company, and they're quality slingshots. So you don't have to buy one of these. You don't have to spend this much money. You can buy this setup right here without the bottom part and without the brace for I think around $50, 45, maybe $75. I don't know, but it's under $100. You can go to the website and find out, but you don't have to spend as much as I did. But anyway, I'll do more videos as I learn more. But so far, I'm still glad I bought this. It's worth the money, and I'm looking at doing more and more with it. My son was really enthused about shooting, so me and him are going to be shooting more and more, which is always a good thing. And if you're thinking about getting into some kind of shooting sport, this is probably the cheapest way to do it. Now, I know if you're thinking about rifles or firearms, it's completely different. But if you're thinking about, archery or anything, this might be a good start, an inexpensive start. And even your kids are going to like it. They should like it, but they may not. But my son loves it, and he also does archery, but he's real interested in this now. So anyway, thanks for listening, and I'll be putting out more videos as I learn more and get to understand more about how this is all going to work. Thank you for watching.